So today, we're talking about desire. We're talking about that part of us that creates. And hopefully, we're going to explore it to a depth that we understand where we're really creating from. Because desire, opinion, those things can be really deceptive. Very deceptive. And we in New Thought have gotten really proficient at molding our New Thought language to match our desires and opinions as revelation. And it ain't necessarily so. When I lived back in North Carolina, I had the privilege and the honor to live on the Qualla, which is the Cherokee land up in western North Carolina. It's not a reservation. It's actually owned by the Cherokee and leased back to the federal government. That's why it's called the Qualla instead of a reservation. And every day they would give me tasks to do. And I would do them, and then I would meet in council with the elders every night for 2 years. And they would ask me 3 questions. What did you learn about yourself? What did you learn about somebody else? And what did you learn about your connection in spirit? And I would dutifully answer those questions as profoundly as I possibly could. And at the end of every time, they would say, "You're getting it, except for those opinions." For 2 years, I kept waiting to hear, "You have it." Nope, except for those opinions. We all have opinions. We all have them. What's really critical is that we understand them, that we understand where they come from, and that we examine them to at least decide if they're our opinions. Because most of the opinions that we think are our opinions belong to somebody else. We're raised with parents. Parents have opinions. Parents entrust those opinions to their children. It's just how it goes. And then we go to school. Guess what teachers have? They got more opinions. And their opinions don't necessarily align with your parents' opinions. So now they're educating you with educational material infiltrated with opinions. Because, and we know that, if we look back, just take history. Take all the other subjects off the table. Let's look at history. None of us was taught an accurate recording of history. We were taught the sterilized version of history that matches the teacher's opinion of what we should get. Okay? And I'm not making anybody right or wrong. I'm just telling you, factually, that's how we're educated. Okay?
Different countries, right?
That's how we're educated. Okay? And it doesn't matter where you are. We're human beings. We carry forward our opinions. And if you notice, our opinions tend to be somewhat polarized. Yet, they have the same passion. Because I am equally passionate about the things I have an opinion against as I have the opinion for. Okay? Now what's interesting to me is we have a faith tradition that says we turn away from conditions. So where is there room in there for me to have an opinion against something? Now, in Ernest Holmes' talk, The Sermon by the Sea, he talks about, show me one person that stands for something and against nothing. And there's a whole lot of things that he talks about in there. And toward the end of it, he actually makes it really clear that that one person that he's talking about is each and every one of us. That what he's calling us to do is find that place within ourselves where we clearly stand for something and against nothing. He was asked one time if he would join folks on a retreat, and he said, "No, but I'll join you when you have an advance." Be for something instead of against something. Mother Teresa refused to go to anti-war protests. She refused. She was really clear, when you have a peace rally, I'll be there. But I'm not coming for an anti-war. What do we stand for instead of what do we stand against? Because like our reading said, we should carefully consider whether we are willing to experience the results of our thoughts. Does your thought against something create what you want? Does it? See, if I want peace and all of my thoughts are about stopping war, what am I creating? War. Because my focus is on war. If I really want peace, then I focus on peace. And as I focus on peace, well, lo and behold, I become a peaceful human being. Now, also in our reading, it talks about the interconnectedness. And what is good for me is good for all of creation. What hurts me hurts all of creation. And so if I am doing things in my life that harm me, I'm harming the whole. And we touched on this a little bit last week. Okay? So if I really care about humanity, it starts right here. And it starts in the littlest of things. Okay? I've finally taken myself to task to quit giving verbal homage to health and fitness and getting back in the gym. Now I have a litany of reasons why I haven't been. I could probably replace Britannica with all of it. And the ridiculousness of it is that I love going to the gym. I love how it smells. I love the banging weights. I love how my body feels. I love it. And yet, I found years of excuses to not go. Now, we'd be here all afternoon if I get into all of why that is. It doesn't even matter. What matters is, 2 years ago, I created a Facebook page that said, "Healthy Me." And doesn't have much on it. I was like, ooh, well, I could just take the page down, nobody will know. And it was like, you know. See, it doesn't matter what anybody else knows. What do you know? What do you know about your life that you don't want anybody else to know? I frequently have the privilege of sitting on the panels for licensing practitioners, where we're asking them, really, we're digging into their consciousness and how they're going to show up as a practitioner. And one question that I always ask, that's not even on our list, is, what's the one thing you don't want me to know about you? Because that's our growing hub right there. Now, it doesn't mean you go around with a t-shirt that says, the one thing I don't want you to know about me is, but you need to know. And then, what are you going to do about it? One of the challenges that we have is that we think our perceptions are accurate. Okay? How many times do we get into those discussions that look an awful lot like an argument, where we have experienced the same thing someone else did, and they saw it differently than us. But we're right, they're wrong, and we're going to make sure they know that. I mean, listen to people talk about movies or books that they read. Oh, that is not what it said. That is not what happened in that movie. This is what really happened. Could it be that both things happened? Could it be that both perceptions are equally correct? See, perception is a funny thing because perception is always coming through our filters. It's coming from our focus. So I have a fun little thing we're going to do this morning. Okay. So, we're going to do a little exercise. The instructions are, I'm going to show you a video here in just a second. It's really short, so you got to pay close attention. Your objective is to count how many times the players wearing white pass the basketball to each other. Okay? So you're looking for white jerseys, basketball, players, right? And how many times they pass that basketball. Ready? Here we go.
There's two basketballs.
How many did you get?
15.
15 is the correct answer. Anybody see anything else? 2 basketballs. Anybody see anything else? Anybody see a gorilla? Watch again.
Are we supposed to count the times
Yeah?
when it bounced?
No, that's okay. That's not even what it's about. Watch it. It was absolutely there. What? Okay. Let's take it back to the very beginning for the doubting Thomas of the crowd.
Yeah, that's right. I wasn't paying attention.
This is what you were watching. Enter gorilla.
Oh.
Oh my God.
I didn't even know that.
He really was there. How often do we not see what's right in front of our face? Because we're looking for what we want to see. This is one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen. Because it demonstrates how our brain works. When we're focused on seeing a specific thing, we don't see everything that's there. We don't even see a gorilla that walks in and goes, ah! It walks right on it. How do we shift that? Because that's really what this is about. How do we see the gorillas that we're not seeing? Okay. We have to get out of our opinions. We have to recognize that a good percentage of our perception is actually deception. Okay? A good percentage of our perception is deception. Because we've told our mind, we've told our brain, this is the acceptable thing to see. This is what I want to see. It's all I'm going to see. Now here's the double edge. That's actually a good thing when we're focused on spiritual principle. See, we need that singularity of focus to manifest from love. The journey is to recognize, am I against something or for something? Am I against people owning guns? See, this job as a minister, I'm not sure if it's getting harder or more glorious. But I can tell you, I'm tired of people shooting our children. I'm tired of it. And I can't focus on shooting our children and be a part of the solution. And that is a deep challenge. I have to focus on the solution. I have to recognize that I am the shooter, I am the shot, I am the parent, I am the gun manufacturer, I am the ammunition manufacturer. I am all of those. Because in oneness, I don't get to separate myself. I don't get to take a holier than thou stance and point fingers and say, I'm not that. My behavior's not that. But that's very different than I'm not that. Very different. And so how do we do that? How do we do that? How do we navigate that deep heart pain? How do we embrace the reality that every life on this planet is shattered by that activity? Every life. But we like our triangle. We like our villains, we like our victims, and we like our heroes. And if we get off the triangle, we get to oneness. See, if I stop being a victim, then I don't need a villain. If I stop being a victim, I don't need a hero. When we recognize that we are all of those, then I can have compassion for the one that I put in the villain spot. And true compassion, hear me deeply, people, true compassion means I see that in myself first. And I love all of me first, because I cannot give you something I don't have. We have to get beyond the behavior. I don't love racism. I love the racist. There's a difference. I don't love murder. I love the person that committed the murder. There's a big difference. And when we get stuck in our opinion of what the behavior means about the person, we don't see the gorilla anymore. We don't see it. My own personal practice is to get beyond the behavior, to get to the nugget. Hurt people hurt people. It's just that true. People that are in pain inflict pain. So where have I done that? In the entirety of my 58 years, where have I hurt other people when I was in pain? I don't have to look far. I suspect none of us do. Catch yourself, though, because it's really easy to go, well, I didn't do it like that. See, we have our nice back to our opinions, where the degree of hurt somehow justifies separation. We've been doing that for a long time. How many wars have been fought in the name of a revelation from the divine? We've been lying about this for a long time. What it's really about is power. Evil is nothing more than the manifestation of an imbalance between love and power. That's all it is. It's a manifestation of imbalance, which makes the solution really clear. Up the love, balance it out. We stop being evil in our behavior. It's simple. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's simple. I love the example, the difference between simple and easy that I got in 12-step recovery. It's really easy. It's really simple. Really simple for one person to use one rifle and one bullet to take down one elephant. It's not so easy for that one person to deal with that elephant. Big difference. The action is easy. The action is simple. The outcome isn't easy. We're trying to deal with the wrong thing. Deal with the core. It is our beliefs that we're creating from. And how many of us, in the core of our being, if we're being really honest, go right to that person that killed people needs to die. Holly Meir has a song. Why is it that we justify killing people who kill people to stop people from killing people? Think about it. Killing is killing. But see, we justify our desire to kill as righteous because it's somehow connected spiritually. Ain't a word of truth in it. Spirituality is about life. It is about life. It is about life. It is about being clear who we are. And when you're clear who you are really clear who everybody is. Who we are behind the behavior. And I am in no way suggesting that we excuse behavior. Quite to the contrary. But we deal with the behavior from a place of spiritual integrity. Indigenous people had this figured out a long time ago. When someone acts in a manner that's harmful to others, they are removed from the community. But they're not imprisoned. They are taken into communion with the elders and loved and taught the magnificence of who they are until everything unlike that is out of them. They are loved up until they know that this behavior doesn't represent who you are. That this is who you are. That you are magnificent. That you are pure. And when you really get that, your behavior will demonstrate that. And when they get there, they bring that person back into the whole tribe and they celebrate. They celebrate the transformation. They celebrate the shift. They celebrate the healing that only comes from knowing the truth of who we are. So if you have anything floating around in there where you think you are less than that which created you, get busy with one of our practitioners. They are trained and licensed and love reminding you of the truth of who you are. It's like the most amazing thing. Because they are the safe place where you can go and say, I'm confused. This is who I think I am. And I'm showing up like this. And I'm out of congruence with myself. And I'm miserable. Help! And you know what? They will. They will remind you of the truth of you. They will sit with you and treat with you in consciousness because there's only one consciousness here. And so as they know the truth for you, they're knowing it with you, and you can't walk out of there unchanged. You can walk out of there and act like you're not changed, but you'll be more miserable. Because now you're even more out of congruence. Because we cannot unring the bell. Every one of you, and every one of you out there in video land, are whole, perfect, and complete. That doesn't mean you behave like it. So don't take my words and twist them. I didn't say you behave like it. I said that's what you are. You are pure love in form. You cannot get better than you are this moment. So stop trying. Because how can you improve on perfection? What is there to add to whole? Nothing. Let that crap go. It's based on an opinion of stuff. When I have this car, I'll be okay. When I have this house, I'll be okay. When my bank account has this number, I'll be okay. When every chair in here is filled, I'll be okay. Hooey. That's not the word that came to mind. Everything is already here. Let yourself be that. Stop trying to do that. Because you cannot do yourself into a better being. But you can be yourself into better doing. Let's take this into prayer. In this moment, I am so deeply aware of the power and the magnificence of the one. This one love, this one light, this one power, this one presence. The very essence of creation. And oh, how deeply it loves its creation. How freely it gives to its creation. All that it is, lives, moves, and has its being in every form of life. Nothing missing. Nothing to go find. Nothing to get rid of. That the deepest revelation is to truly allow our hearts to open so that we can see clearly in every nook and cranny of our being that we are that. That is the only revelation that is ever needed. That there is nothing to heal. And in truth, only more of God, more of love, more of life to reveal. And so in this moment, I speak my word for myself, recognizing that I'm speaking for all of humanity. That we stand with courage. That we stand with an open heart. And claim the magnificence that we are. That we lay claim to our birthright. And we stop selling out for appearances. That we recognize that this gift of understanding that we have has the capacity to change this world. And we stand in that undiluted, unapologetically, claiming today I live my truth. And today I live my truth. And every day we claim, today I live my truth. Today I surrender to being the greatest expression of divinity that I can be. And I invite anything unlike that to my consciousness to be dealt with and shifted and transformed by the renewing of my mind. So grateful for these truths, for these teachings. So grateful for the opportunity to be the divine in form, to be used to speak its truth, to live its truth, to be it in form. And so it is from this place of gratitude that I release my word into that activity of love and law that already made it so. So there's nothing more to do than to let go and be that. And so I do. And I invite you to be in agreement and to acknowledge that as we say together. And so it is.